Ugh, villain's reigns. Hey, quick, over here! Yes, just like that. Stay with us, Corporal, stay with us.
What's the matter? What happened?
Tahar's awake.
Lord Marshal Arandi르? What in blazes are you doing here?
It's a long story, but I'm here as an ally.
Yes, and there will be plenty of time for the lengthy explanations later. First, I want to know how you're feeling, Tahar. Sorry to say it like this, but you look like shit.
Charming as always. But I'm fine. Just dizzy. What happened? I just remember Lacane and my mother.
Your mother? You mean the Shaper?
Yes, it's hard to explain. She was in some kind of stasis when my father found her, and my father used her for his experiments. I don't know how to say this, but the bloodburn, it was her doing. When my father died, she tried to call out to me by telepathy. It's what caused the plague.
All right, I think her head wound is worse than we thought.
It's the truth, Iria. And Lacane didn't only want me to stop the bloodburn. He needed me to lead him to my mother, so we could use her as a source of the archfire.
Well, that's a lot to take in, I guess. But why your mother? You're speaking metaphorically, right?
I'm not. She's my mother.
All right. Start over from the beginning. What happened when you walked into that chamber? I'm sorry, but that sounds absurd. Utterly absurd.
Well, I doubt she's lying, King Regent. And actually, it makes sense. It explains a lot, for example, why she could activate the portals, enter Mullandir, and why she had this vision. Though I have to admit, it's not what I expected from our little trip to the Eye. Not at all.
Speaking of which, how did we get out of that dungeon?
Well, as you know, I was unconscious too, so I can only tell you what the soldiers told me. But after that explosion, it was as if the skies had started raining fire. Lacane's soldiers panicked and rushed into the dungeon to save him. It must have also alarmed our troops who were waiting at the borders. They marched in and used the confusion to get us out too. I mean, at the time, the Purity still thought we were allies and vice versa. In other words, we got lucky.
Apparently. But why in blazes are you here, Lord Marshal? And how long was I out for?
It's just anger now. I think we've moved past the titles. And to answer your question, you were out for 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
Yes. To be honest, if your vital signs hadn't remained steady, we would have assumed you were dead.
Which leads us to your mother. You mentioned something about Lacane banishing her into some kind of amulet?
Yes. He somehow absorbed her spirit to gain access to the archfire. That's what my father had always tried, and why he created me in the first place.
And I assume, by archfire, you're talking about some extremely powerful source of magic.
The source of all magic, yes.
So the theories are true. Well, at least now we have an explanation.
An explanation of what?
Well, the Harbinger has gone rampant. Briefly put, the Purity of Light has taken over almost all of Leonida. The Eye, Greyfell, Greykeep, everything.
Greykeep? How is that possible?
They were already in the keep when Lacane gave the order, and we simply didn't expect it. It wasn't even a fight. It was a massacre. And yes, I know what you're about to say. But it's my fault, because I tolerated the Purity in the first place. And you're right. I've made mistakes, and hundreds, thousands of people had to pay the price.
What about the Queen? Is she...
She's alive. The Harbinger knows he can't kill her, because if he does and word gets out, then he might lose the common folk's support. According to our spies, the Queen's Guard and the Purity have struck some kind of bargain.
Wait, the Purity controls the keep, and the Queen's Guard just plays along?
Yes, it sounds absurd, I know. But the Queen's Guard first responsibility lies with the safety of the Queen. Whatever is necessary to protect her, they do it. Though I doubt Lycane's long-term plan sees the Queen at his side, which is just another reason to hurry.
And he's wielding the power of the Archfire?
Some incredibly powerful form of magic, yes. And it adds up. He absorbed your mother's spirit, and it allows him to do the things he now does.
But why? Why start a war against all of Northander?
To prepare Io for the arrival of Aeonir. You remember that nonsense his priests always preach? How we're the reason that Aeonir left us?
Yes, that's the reason they want to clear the world of sin and mages. Of defilers.
Well, it seems that they've spiced up their idea a little since it was taking too long. It's not just mages they kill anymore, but everybody who doesn't convert to their religion. Soldiers, women, men. They all get to choose. Join the purity and accept the light, or be killed on the spot.
Then we need to stop him.
We do.
Be that as it may, your recovery couldn't be more timely.
What about the charges? Do you still consider me a traitor?
Is that still important?
It is to me.
That's very honorable of you, Tahar. Given the recent events, your sentence has been lifted. You are pardoned. And if that is your wish, you can be reinstated as a corporal of the Northander army. That, and my apology, is all I can offer.
So you acknowledge that your verdict was a mistake?
I don't think this is something we should discuss now. We can talk about it later. Do you accept my offer?
That would mean a lot.
Good. However, we cannot make this official until Greykeep is reclaimed.
How did you even get here?
Later, Tar. I'll tell you all you want to know, but not now.
For what it's worth, the encounter with my mother also changed something in me. I feel different.
Elaborate.
Well, when I awoke my mother, it did something to me. She called this the melding.
Less fancy words, please. What did it do?
Well, I think it allows me to control a part of the Archfire too. Just like the Harbinger does.
Finally, some good news.
Indeed. Anything that can help us battle Lycane will help. But whatever it is, I doubt it will allow us to stop Lycane with a thought alone. Or will it?
No. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it changed.
I see.
Since you saved me from the dungeon, what about my mother's body? Is she...
She's here in the Nexus. We saved her, but she seems to be in some kind of a coma. For a while we thought it was the same as your condition, but now that you've told us the full story, it makes sense. Her body is still functioning, but Lycane has stolen her spirit.
One more reason to stop him.
I was hoping you'd say that. Maybe we'll even get our chance sooner than expected. Lycane is marching towards us as we speak.
Come again?
He knows where we are, and he's planning an attack on the city. He might arrive today or tomorrow, but soon, which is why we need to.
Lord Marshal.
Speaking of Nor.
The Purity. They are here, as you said. What are your orders, sir?
Put up defenses all around the perimeter and protect the Nexus at all cost. How many are they?
Hundreds, sir. And House Utran is supporting them too. Your sister is leading them.
Myra?
I'm afraid so.
Wait, you're saying that House Utran is working for the Purity of Light now? And they're led by Lady Myra Utran?
As I said, yes. It could be anything, though. Maybe Lycane forced her to comply.
Then make sure that she does not get harmed. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. There needs to be an explanation for this. Either way, we need to fend them off. Tahar, are you able to fight?
I think so. Yes.
Good. Then you're back in charge. Let's head out.